Hello everyone, welcome back. It's another week and another game of Star Realms, or at least that's what I'm hoping. I'm gonna click on the new game button, go for my 3 minutes per turn match, which I know everyone hates, but really 48 hours per turn just doesn't mesh well with trying to record. So let's see if we can get ourselves a game and get started here. And we have one, and it's their turn, so my opponent gets to go first, and we will let them do that, and we will jump right in as soon as we can. And here is my turn, my very first turn of this game. What did my opponent do? They got an Explorer. What do we have on the trade row here? Oh, with 3 to purchase, as much as I'd like to get economy starting out, I think the frigate is probably a better call. Maybe some forced discard will help us keep a pace that is more in our favor this game. What do you guys think? Is that going to help me out? Is Bax correct about the frigate? Or am I going to lose out on the ability to buy anything good? There we go. And what did our opponent buy, just in case we didn't see it? Was that really just another Explorer? That is a little odd. I was a little distracted turning back on my face cam, which I forgot to do. You guys almost were able to get away with not having to deal with my face this time, but nope, I remembered, sorry. Alright, now decisions. I would like to get some economy. The space station does work well with my frigate, and the freighter is a whole lot of economy. I'm having a tough call on this one. I think I'm going to pull the freighter. There's a couple expensive things I'd like, and I would really like to make sure I get at least one of them. The space station, I've got to worry about timing too. Oh, and a blob carrier comes up. Mothership, blob carrier, and battle blob. I am really hoping that that freighter makes the difference in me getting 2 to my opponent's 1. But it all depends on when those explorers show up and what else I get of my own and all that stuff. So let's see. What do they have? They have, 5 trade. They picked up that station so that they can do the whole scrap-a-ma-doodly and buy something expensive of their own. This turn, unfortunately, with 3... I'm going to get myself an Explorer, and I'm going to do 2 measly little points to their head. That's all I am going to be able to do. What are they getting this turn? Oh, they're probably... I don't know. They might make it to the hive? Boy, that is just a beautifully green trade row we've got there, and I'm really hoping I can pick up most of it, but it's probably not going to happen. But we'll see. I am going to get to make them discard one this turn before I finally start getting some of my good cards, hopefully. Yes, I will be able to pick something up fairly expensive the turn after this next one. Will there still be anything good there? I sure hope so. What do they got? What do they got? What do they got? 5? Oh, a couple explorers for them. That's a little bit of a shame, isn't it? Oh... With four, I could take that draw and try to get my freighter, and that would get me the mothership into this next shuffle instead of waiting for the next one. It's a risk, but I am going to do it. I am going to do it, and I did it, and I get the mothership, and I get to draw a card when I get that thing, and it's going to be in there nice and soon. I will be putting it in right about now. It's in the mix. It's not in the very first hand after that shuffle, but hey, what are you going to do? Of course, one of these cards was already in there, but the other 4 were all shots at new cards, so I had to try it out. Had to try it out. And what do they have? They had to get rid of something. Ooh, they are going blue, huh? I can't even remember which one that was that they picked up. Let's take a look at it, guys. It is 3 economy, and you can scrap to draw a card and destroy target base. I don't know if that's what I would have wanted, but hey, it is to each their own, and there are many strategies to go with. I unfortunately only have 3 purchasing power this turn, so it's a single explorer, and again 2 points of damage to their head. What am I going to get next turn? I guess I could just end turn and it'll shuffle and deal, and yeah, 4 is not all that great for purchasing, but I do get to draw a card, and I will at least get up to 5, so worst I can get the hive, probably can get a battle blob or a blob carrier, and that would not be a miss at all. I probably should mention I almost didn't make a video this week. I am actually recording at like 10 o'clock on a Friday, and this is supposed to go. Oh, which one did they get? They got a blob there. Oh yes, they did. They got the battle blob. 8 is a lot in faction to draw. That's what I wanted. But there is another faction to draw from the blob fighter, so what are we going to get with the mothership? What are we going to get? 2, 3, 4, 5. Not what I wanted. I am almost tempted to take the blob fighter and see what shows up, but I think I'm going to get one more blob. I mean, the chances that they can pick up the carrier and the blob fighter their next turn are pretty slim. So I'm going to take the hive and hope I can get one more blob, and then it should work together pretty well. And there's finally some scrap up, but I'm thinking at this point of the game it's almost not worth going for. If it was the battle bot that does a little bit of damage too, I probably would go for it, but that's going to be something that happens only if I can't buy anything good that I want at all and have to buy cheap junk. It's like, probably better than an explorer, but it's still a hard call. I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 will allow me to pick up that blob carrier if it's still there, and if it's not, I might get the fleet HQ. It's one that's unlikely to die, and without scrap I'm going to have a lot of ships that don't do much. Oh, they are going to pick up the blob carrier, and yep, they did. I'm going to get probably the machine base then, but we should see what this draw card resolves into first. Oh man. Draw a card then scrap a card. I mean, it is not the great one. It is not the brain world, but oh man, that scrap could be pretty powerful. Oh boy, tough decisions. You know what? I have enough that I can pick the battle pod and see what comes up afterwards. Boy. Now it's a tough call. I could get the fleet HQ and just go straight up for some more damage. Boy. Boy, that's a tough one. I think I'm going to go for the machine base. And I think I'm going to go a trade bot, and then I have to scrap both of these, and I'm a little disappointed to see that come up. That's what I was afraid of. Something else good for my opponent. But I do get 10 points of damage this turn, which is not horrible. And hopefully that... Oh, that's what I didn't want to see. I did not want to see him on his own. Maybe they will not get to destroy it. It's gonna be alone for a while, isn't he? Yes, he is. That's a shame. Okay, I'm certain I was just gonna mention that I was going to leave the game because it had been so long, and that allowed me to not see what happened, and of course that's what they picked up. Oh, no, they didn't pick that up. They just discarded that. What did they pick up? They picked up the survey ship? That's a little curious, but what have you. I guess that is the way of it. 3 is a little disappointing. 3, I think I'm going to pick up a blob wheel. I think it works better with what I have going on. I wouldn't mind activating some more of my blobs. I just don't feel like picking up more explorers at this point in the game. I mean, they do scrap out for 2 damage, but they're not going to work with stuff well. And now I'm going to see my freighter again, and I'm probably not going to have anything that I want to spend a 7 on, am I? Probably not. Blob Destroyer, if it's still there, obviously. but the chances of it being around are pretty low. I would say possibly a royal readout, but I don't have any other yellows. I had only the one frigate that I scrapped early on the hopes and the dreams. That was probably a little bit early, but it felt like a thing to do. And so that's never going to trigger the discard, which 3 damage is not a lot for 6. And ooh boy, I don't like what they did. That was evil. That was a turn and a half. Ouch. Okay, well, it is my turn. It is my turn. And boy, what do I want to spend this 7 on? That feels like way too much not to get something. So I think I'll get a recycling station. I don't feel great about it. And I'll pick up another explorer. That is a shame, and I don't have anything to do the last 2 points of damage to get their port of call. So 4 points of damage wasted this turn. That feels horrible. I am at least going to get to draw a card off my mothership next turn, and I will get to scrap, and I'm probably... yeah, I have plenty of stuff in there that I can scrap, and I don't have to worry about the draw triggering here yet. Oh, I almost don't want... well, no, it's a green, so if I pull a green, that's fine. Machine base is fine too, so I do want to use this draw early, because if I draw the machine base, I want to make sure I have stuff left in my hand. That is one of the other reasons why, even if it doesn't look like it's going to matter whether you do your draw early or not, sometimes it does. So get in the habit, if all else is equal, of trying to get those out of the way first. Of course, what I'm really worried about is that they are going to beat me to that command ship. They already have a port of call, so I know they have at least some blue to faction with that thing. Draw 2 cards is just huge. I love the command ship, I really do. And 8 is going to be a lot easier to get to when you start with 3 than when you start with 3 damage, which doesn't help. I don't know for sure. They don't have that much extra in trade, but even just several scouts, well, 5 scouts really, so they have to get pretty much anything with a draw will give them a better shot at it, I guess. Wow, I wonder where... did they scrap out all of their explorers? They do not have a lot of trade left then, do they? They have a supply bot is the only thing that gives more than one by itself, and the survey ship gives a good shot at another one. But even still, their odds on command ship are not that great. Of course, with my freighter in the discard, my odds are not that great either. But what are you going to do? It's also worth noting that 4 points of damage I lost out on, if I'd have been able to do that to my opponent's face, we would be at the exact same authority totals right now. As it is, they are slightly in the lead. I am not going to get... well, no, I'm going to get 3 from that, and I'm going to get 4 from that. So I will get to take it out this next turn. Of course, I'm not going to have a whole lot of damage left to go to their face. That is more than a little bit disappointing, but at least it'll be a tiny, tiny amount. In case you guys didn't catch it, I actually cut a couple of times in there between my last turn, and it's still not responding. I'm not seeing the next turn from my opponent. I wasn't intending to say opponent is it, even though, I mean, with that avatar, can you blame me? But no, I'm saying the game, because I've been reading through the Facebook posts lately, and a lot of people have been having more problems than usual. So I'm wondering if I'm dead. 16 was not all that high on life. No, I won because my opponent probably timed out. I would have originally liked to transition to making sure I got a full game. That is what I would like to start doing, although I would have to start recording earlier than Friday, which is odd because this is probably the first time I've recorded this late in the week since I started these videos. Just a super busy week at work. Deadlines from words I won't say in my YouTube videos. got everything done that I needed to, but it did not leave me any time to record until the last minute, so to speak. So I'm probably not going to have a chance to do a second game. I will probably start playing some additional stuff though soon. If anybody is interested in seeing that, keep an eye out, and I might pick up another game or two in the near future, and maybe even try to record a little bit more on the weekends and what's the word I'm looking for? Trickle it out slowly during the week. That doesn't sound right. Oh well. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I had a couple of things in there that I hope you paid attention to. Little tips. Not the best in the world, I know, but still these little things, we can share them about and give each other a little bit of help and all get to be a little bit better. And if only the servers could get better, then we'd all win, instead of just whoever happens to stay connected to the server for longer. Sorry, Siljan, or however you pronounce your username. It's always pooey when that's the reason for the loss, but that is life, especially in Star Realms. So I will see you guys in the next one. Later.